This is why Dub Nation is the best. I had said it earlier this week that the goal for this week, by the end of it, to get to 27,000 subscribers. And we are 33 people away from hitting that number. So if you haven't subscribed, you simply ain't alive. And if you want entertaining, edgy, informative, consistent Dubs coverage, hit that red subscribe button down below and join the Dub Nation family for the best Warriors coverage right here on YouTube. Welcome in to Golden State Warriors Today by Chat Sports. I'm your host, Chase Sr. Fascinating show coming your way on the docket for today's episode as we take a look at some of the Warriors' young players. And I'm going to ask you the question a couple of times throughout today's show. Which young gun on this Warriors roster is your favorite and which one has the most potential? Now, I've said it a couple of times that Bob Myers has done a marvelous job of building this team where he's put the Warriors in a position to win and compete for a championship right now, but also compete down the road once Steph Curry, Draymond Green, and Klay Thompson get a little bit older. It's pretty wild when you look at the ages of some of these young guns, just how young they are. Jordan Poole still has boatloads of potential. He's only slightly tapped into it. He's only 22 years old as a heat-seeking missile on the offensive end of the floor. James Wiseman getting closer and closer to returning, coming off that knee injury. He's just 20. Moses Moody, Jonathan Kuminga, the two first-round draft choices for Golden State in the 2021 NBA draft, both 19 years old. Moses Moody just a couple of months older than Jonathan Kuminga. So we're going to go player by player here and break down what they've done this year, the potential and growth that they have at their disposal, some of the things that they really flourish with, but also an area in which they need to improve. So we begin with the elder statesman among these four players, that is Jordan Poole, who once he was drafted out of Michigan was really slow to start his NBA career, going back and forth between the NBA level and the G League, but now that he's a consistent performer on this Warriors roster, he's really turned into a very valuable asset on this team. And this really started to begin after the All-Star break last year, about a year ago when you compare the seasons. This year, 16.5 points per game, 3.5 dimes. I'd like to see him get better in terms of his dishing. 44% shooting and 34% from beyond the arc. What does Poole give this Warriors team, and what can he continue to bring to the hardwood? He's a microwave scorer. When he's hot, he's really fun to watch. He's also a playmaker off the dribble where he can create for himself and a little bit for his teammates, but as I talked about, I'd like to see his vision get a little bit better. If you start him, he can succeed. If you want him coming off the bench like his current role, he could really be that Lou Williams or that Jordan Clarkson type of offensive player, and I think that role grows over time. Where does he need to get better? I'd like to see Jordan Poole be a more consistent outside shooter. I think that would really help his growth and really help him in the long haul, because then Steve Kerr has more trust in him to go to him in more crucial spots. This is going to be the pinned comment on today's video. So if you get hit with that YouTube ad break, it's a great opportunity for you to scroll on down into the comment section and get your votes in. Who has the brightest future among these four players who we're talking about on Golden State Warriors Today? Type JP for Jordan Poole, JW for James Wiseman, MM for Moses Moody, or JK for Jonathan Kuminga. We now shift our focus to the front court, to James Wiseman, the number 2 pick in the 2020 NBA draft. And his rookie year really was rocky, really was up and down. First, he wasn't getting a lot of minutes. Then he started to get more burn. Then he got hurt and dealt with a couple of injuries throughout his rookie campaign after only playing a couple games with the Memphis Tigers under Penny Hardaway. Last year as a rookie, there were great moments, there were low moments, but at the end of the day, you saw the potential, and that's why the Warriors drafted him when he was only a teenager. 11.5 points per game in his debut NBA season, less than 6 boards, gave you about a block per night. I think he can continue to grow on that end of the floor, and he shot around 52% from the floor. What does James Wiseman give you? Gifted ability at his size, and I don't even know if he's done growing yet. So he's hovering around 7 feet tall, and his athleticism really is fantastic given that size. He can be a high-level two-way player, meaning he can contribute and put up numbers and have an impact offensively, but also defensively. If he develops a shot, just a corner three, maybe even a wing three. He can give you a lot of the same elements that Chris Bosh was able to give the Miami Heat. Last year, there were a couple of highlights of him blocking shots around the perimeter, running the floor, putting the ball on the deck, and you're like, my gosh, this guy is around 7 feet tall and he's doing this? Wow. What does he need to do? Needs to stay healthy. A couple of banged up injuries last year. The knee injury this year was supposed to be back in the fall. That then got delayed to January and February. We still haven't seen him. Hopefully we see him at some point this year. I know a lot of you like to hop on the sticks. You like gaming. You love NBA 2K. So this question is really directed toward you. Grade James Wiseman as a player. Scale it for me on the NBA 2K scale from 1 to 100. Once again, you chime in and be a part of the show in the comment section. If you want to be a part of Dub Nation furthermore, we have a Warriors Polo phenomenal deal available right now. If you enter that link down below, chatsports.com/Warriors Polo. This Warriors Polo was $50, now on sale, limited time only for just $40. You have the Dubs logo, wonderful material, $10 off. Only if you use that link, chatsports.com/Warriors Polo. Represent Golden State Warriors today by Chat Sports, as well as your Dubs by rocking some fresh Warriors gear. I'll put that link in the comment section, as well as the description of this video. Two more players to get to. Jonathan Kuminga continues to wow you, continues to amaze you with this athletic component that he brings you offensively as well as defensively. This guy, maybe among these four players, has the most potential that might be untapped, and really his story is just fascinating. Grew up in Congo, fell in love with the game of basketball, watching highlights of Kobe Bryant, moves over to America to pursue his NBA dreams, doesn't go to college, goes the G League route. He's selected at number 7, looked at as a raw developmental project. And this year, I think these numbers are better than what a lot of people had anticipated or hoped. And honestly, over the last month or two, his numbers have been even better than these season stats. The eye test is really the component that makes you sit back and say, my gosh, he can become a Jaylen Brown type of player. And during our draft prep, that was my player comp for Jonathan Kuminga. The three-point shot has gotten a lot better. Defensively, he's great. And the athletic upside really is extraordinary. I mean, he gives you this size and athleticism that is so rare, wonderful defensive upside where he can guard multiple positions, and unlimited ceiling. Really, it's going to come down to how much he wants to put in to the lab, to put into his game. You look at Joel Embiid, Giannis, and the work that they've done to improve Jaylen Brown right in that category. If Jonathan Kuminga has that devotion to his game, look out, world. What does he need to develop? His shot. Develops a shot, he's going to be unstoppable because he has everything to his game. Will you watch Kaminga in the Rising Stars game on Saturday as we record this on Friday during All-Star Weekend in Cleveland? W for watch, IG for I'm good. Let me know if you'll be watching the young kid, JK. Lastly, Moses Moody gets the least minutes among these four. And yes, I understand James Wiseman hasn't played this year, but he played a considerable amount last year, given that he was a rookie. Moses Moody has had a couple of really impressive performances this year. The numbers are not going to jump off the screen at you. 3 points per 1.5 boards, but, you know, when he's gotten consistent minutes, he's had a couple of really good performances. I mean, that 20-plus point performance in that game against the San Antonio Spurs during that epic comeback a few weeks ago made you really realize that Moses Moody, picked at number 14, has a boatload of potential as well. What does Moses Moody give you, and what can he give this franchise down the road? At the very least, he could be a very good trade chip. If you want to hold on to him, he gives you modern-day attributes that are very important. Defense, a three-point shot, a little bit of playmaking as well. He has the potential to be a very good scorer with more time. He could put the ball on the deck a little bit. That impressed me during the NBA Summer League. Defensive upside, he needs to just get more run. I need to see more from Moses Moody. The problem for him, a little bit raw. He's on a roster that's stacked, and there are a bunch of people ahead of him, but at some point down the road, he will get more time. So before we get out of here, I'm going to ask you this question one more time. The brightest future among these quad of players, JP for Jordan Poole, JW for James Wiseman, MM for Moses Moody, JK for Jonathan Kuminga. We love hearing from Dub Nation, and as always, thanks for watching today's show. Don't forget to subscribe and have a phenomenal weekend.